Today we present a special Best of Money Chat Now with Larry Steinhaus. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show because it's time for the Best of Money Chat Now with your host, Larry Steinhaus.
I am so glad that we have organizations like the CDC, the World Health Organization, and FEMA. They help to prove that even the dumbest people on the planet could get degrees in science. Well, to prove my last theory, that they are just some of the dumbest people on the planet, FEMA just announced something that's very relevant to what is going on with the Europe war. They are telling us what to do in the case of a nuclear explosion. Yes, that's right. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, has issued updated guidance to its nuclear explosion readiness. So if you hear this sound, make sure you know what to do, and I'm going to tell you. Okay, so here you go. You ready? It includes, wait for it, tips to avoid COVID in a nuclear attack. That's right. In case a nuclear bomb goes off, and your house is destroyed, and the radiation is eating your skin as you scream in pain, FEMA suggests that you continue to be at least 6 feet apart from the other people screaming as they die. Oh yes, and make sure you wear a mask while screaming and dying, because those screams have many more droplets than simple speech. Well, now that I went down that rabbit hole, oh wait, did I social distance while I was in that rabbit hole? I hope not. Well, I hope so. I wonder if I'll get rabbit COVID virus or rabbititis. Rabbititis! For those of you who used to watch Bugs Bunny, you got that joke. All right, never mind. Getting back to what I wanted to report, it seems that another dumb agency is worried about the war in Ukraine and how it will spread coronavirus. Oh, my God! The morons are back at it. This time, the World Health Organization is reporting that the mass displacement of people in Ukraine will increase COVID transmission, warning that large numbers of people at risk of severe disease as oxygen supplies are critically low. All these people, I don't know, are these people in the WHO locked up in a room without contact of normal people? Nothing in that sentence even made any sense. Let me read the sentence again, just so you understand. This time, the World Health Organization is reporting that the mass displacement of people in Ukraine will increase COVID transmission, warning that large numbers of people are at risk of severe disease as oxygen supplies are critically low. Hey, morons at the WHO, these people are running from a real threat. The threat of their homes and cities being destroyed. They aren't worried about your scamdemic anymore. Wait, it gets better. Listen to the choice of words a senior advisor at the WHO, Dr. Bruce Aylward, uses to describe the risk. He actually says infectious diseases ruthlessly exploit the conditions created by war. No, Dr. Aylward, people like you exploit disaster to get your funding to keep exploiting disasters. He goes on and on about how the WHO will be helping the injured in war. And all I can think about are the scenes from the old 70s show MASH. Remember the old 70s show MASH? Imagine this. Radar is announcing in a muffled voice over the loudspeakers, "We're taking out Then you see the choppers with the pilot wearing a mask, landing the wounded in a field with their arms and legs missing, but they're happily wearing their masks. Look, Doc, I got my mask on! Right before the announcement, Hawkeye and Trapper are sipping their martinis as they pull down their masks for a sip and then quickly put them back. Each one of the people they operate on and all the soldiers in the recovery room are also wearing masks as they joyfully recover from their amputations and their guts being rearranged. Of course, there's Frank Burns, the ultimate mask Nazi. What else would he be, right? Making sure that each soldier has their mask in place. And at the end of the day, Trapper and Hawkeye return to the swamp, and Frank makes sure they're wearing their masks as they sleep. All right, what a terrible show that would have been. I don't know. When will this madness end? I just can't get over it. How could we not talk about the famous Hunter Biden laptop? You know, The ones that the Russians planted in the computer shop in Delaware? You know, the one that had fabricated correspondence emails from Russia, Ukraine, and other countries suggesting that Hunter and Joe Biden are receiving bribe money and other perks? Well, the New York Times says they've confirmed the laptop is real and the contents of the laptop are also real. Oh, come on now. As we all know, this can't possibly be true, because if it was, it would mean that the Biden family is a security risk and the Bidens have committed treason and a cover-up. If it was true, Joe and Hunter Biden would be in jail right now, so it can't be true. There was so much evidence that the laptop was indeed Hunter Biden's, and the evidence proved that it was indeed him who dropped it off at the repair shop in Delaware. They even have a signed receipt by Hunter Biden from when he dropped it off. I'm telling you, those Russians are brilliant. By the way, for some of you who don't know this story, Hunter Biden dropped off his laptop in a repair shop in Delaware. When he refused to pick it up or pay for it, it became the property of the owner of the shop. So when you drop something off and you don't pick it up, after a certain amount of time, your claim check says it becomes the property of the owner of the shop, who then released the data on the laptop to the news, and also, of course, Rudy Giuliani. And all the news outlets dismissed it as fake. Apparently, Trump had coordinated with Russia to plant this in a Delaware shop so that it could be used against Biden in the election. These are some of the things that, I gotta tell you, these are some of the things that they found on the alleged laptop. They can't see me roll my eyes on the radio, but of course I did, right? This is what was on the laptop. 103,000 text messages, 154,000 emails, more than 2,000 photos, and dozens of videos that belong to the president's son. This is a summary overview of what was found. And don't forget, Russia planted this because it can't be real, right? Number one, it was how he begged his father to run for president in 2019 to salvage Hunter's own reputation. How he repeatedly dodged police action against him despite continually dealing with drug pushers and prostitutes and having multiple run-ins with law enforcement. It also says that Hunter was guarded by Secret Service agents while on a 2018 drug and prostitute binge in Hollywood, despite not being entitled to any protection at the time and amid denials from federal agencies. It also has proof that Joe Biden was afraid that his text conversations with Hunter were being hacked, even as they discussed his White House bid, and Hunter's laptop is also brimming with evidence of apparent criminal activity by Hunter and his associates, including drug trafficking and prostitution. This is definitely not a problem for this. This is definitely not a problem for the son of a former vice president or current president, because of course it's all fake. It's all Russian, right? Nothing to see here. Move along. By the way, I'm seriously wondering why the New York Times is now reporting this. Are they being paid by the Russians? Is Trump getting ready to buy the New York Times? Or maybe just maybe, it's because it's all true. And someone decided to be a journalist instead of a paid propaganda machine for the Democrat Party. Well, if this laptop and all the evidence that's on it does not put Hunter Biden in jail and give reason for the President Poopy Pants to be impeached, we might have a bunch of criminals running Washington. Oh wait, I forgot. That's how Biden got appointed in the first place. But it looks like voter fraud evidence story is the only conspiracy theory left to prove now. But come on, how could that be possible for millions of voters? How could it be possible for millions of voters to have not voted for this brilliant president? I'm looking forward to see if anything happens to Biden or Hunter or the rest of the Bidens, whatever. They all belong in jail. And when it happens, the only problem is we're going to have Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi as president and vice president. Hey, did you guys ever watch House of Cards? The current real-life version is so much better. All right, what happens when you take a group of actors, people who feel they're entitled, and people who love cartoons, and they like to make believe and put them all together? You get Disney Wacko Land. For those of you who don't know, Florida is trying to introduce a bill that keeps children from kindergarten to third grade from learning about sexual orientation at that age. You know, so they could actually be children and play with toys instead of deciding whether they're male, female, them, they, if that, or just plain crazy? So because the extremists in the LGBTQ community want to enlist children at an early age, they are protesting the bill, which has been nicknamed by the nuts, the LGBTQ community, whatever that is, they nicknamed it the Don't Say Gay Bill. Of course, the left moronic media has coined this phrase, and now everyone is running around saying that Governor DeSantis is introducing a bill that won't let people say the word gay. In fact, when I first read the headlines, I was like, what the frig is this? By the way, the bill is actually called, check this out, the Parental Rights in Education Bill. Well, of course, the spoiled brats at Disney corporations, you know, the lucky few in the world who get a cool job for a cool company, are crying foul over the fact that they asked Disney Corporation to publicly denounce the bill. What? Yes, boss at Disney, either you publicly denounce this bill or we will walk out. No, really. The employees were planning a mass exodus, a walkout, unless Disney meets their demands of a political nature. Well, I guess we're going to soon see Mickey Mouse competing in girl mouse sports, and soon soon Minnie Mouse will shave her head and be called Maxie Them or something like that. Can't the cancel culture nuts just leave things alone? Here, I have an idea. Let's make Disneyland in California for the nuts and call it Fruitcake Land, and it'll be politically correct in all aspects, and of course it'll be free. And let's keep Disney World in Florida, the same company Walt Disney created 50 plus years ago. I am so tired of this crap. Let's take a break. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Investor schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Let's talk a little bit about the Supreme Court nomination. All right. I got to be honest, I kept saying to myself that I was not going to go down the rabbit hole of the Supreme Court nomination hearings. And my initial feelings were, look, it's real simple. When Democrats are in office, Democrats get appointed to the Supreme Court. And when Republicans are in office, Republicans get voted in. You know, that's just kind of how it goes, right? We already know that Biden is a racist by making his election of the nomination based on gender and skin color and not the qualifications. So what else could bring this topic, what else bringing this topic up do anyway? Well, after what I heard yesterday, I had to take the opportunity to discuss my feelings on this. All right, a few weeks ago, when the racist Joe Biden picked the black woman to be the nomination, I had to laugh when I found out her name. Remember, he's looking for a black woman. It has to be a black woman. It can't be anybody else. It has to be a black woman, right? So I found out her name. Her name, as you know, is Ketanji Brown Jackson. All right, I got to say, my first thought was not only did he pick a black woman, but he picked a black woman with the perfect black woman name. No, seriously, her name is Ketanji Brown Jackson. That would seriously be like picking a Jew named Avraham Leibowitz, just because you were picking a Jew. Or how about an Italian to be picked with the name, I don't know, let's see, Aldo Mancini. Anyway, you get the point. All right, before I go on, I have to say that I admire Ketanji Brown Jackson. From what I've seen of her, she appears to be well-educated, well-respected, and clearly likable. I don't like her politics, but clearly likable. With that being said, I was compelled to write this story based on a question she was asked at the nomination hearings. So Ms. Jackson is not only a Democrat, but she is clearly a left liberal nutcase. When she was asked by Senator Marsha Blackburn, a Republican in the state of Tennessee, and she was asked a very important question on this ridiculous world of gender fluidity, right? So wait, I'm going to play this for you because I think it's better than repeating it. Hold on.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman? Can I provide a definition? Yeah. I can't. You can? Not in this context.
So
I'm not a
the
biologist.
meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address dispute.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman? And she said she can't? Oh, wait a minute. Can I even say her or she? That would probably imply that Jackson is a woman, but wait. It's just amazing to me. All right. Now that I heard this, I want to help Jackson by providing her with a few answers that may shed some light on the subject. First and foremost, the definition is someone born with a vagina. And they are a woman if they are. But here's some other possible answers to the question as well. A woman is biologically capable of hosting a child in the womb. A woman is someone who is biologically growing breasts that are capable of lactating. A woman is someone who has a hole where the stick on a biological man is. So what's so difficult to understand? All right, look, I must tell you that now here's my solution to the problem of transgender men competing in sports with real women. Here's my answer, and it's simple. The sport will no longer be called men or women's sport, or called boys or girls sports. It'll be renamed Born with a Penis Sports or Not Born with a Penis Sports. This will make it clear, and it will stop robbing women of their titles by mediocre men competing against them. Oh, by the way, in Philly, the sports category will be called Wit or Without. You guys in Philly got that joke. It's unbelievable that they're actually trying to nominate a black woman into the Supreme Court who doesn't know what a woman is. Someone should ask her the definition of the word black next time. I wonder if she'll be able to answer that one. I don't know, maybe Biden made a mistake in his virtue signaling on this one. Apple just wrapped up its first product event of the year. It focused on new affordable iPhone, an update to the iPad Air, and its latest, most powerful Mac chip, which will make its debut in the Mac Studio computer. So here are some of the highlights from the event. So first of all, they're announcing a low-budget iPhone called the iPhone SE. It's smaller, and less expensive. And they're using this phone to bring in new users that have a lower budget. So basically what they're doing is they're saying, hey, if you're still not an iPhone user, you could be able to come into this at $429. You can come into this and maybe we'll make you an iPhone user and then maybe you'll upgrade. Another big announcement was the iPhone 13 will now be available in green. Yes, it will be available in green. Now, there's a green joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to let you decide which joke you want and insert it here. All right, I heard you all laugh at the joke you made. That's great. Apple also introduced the first new Mac model in years with the Mac Studio, which is a displayless desktop computer. And basically, it's cube-shaped. It has ports in the front, an SD card in the front. It's kind of like a Mac Mini, but bigger, right? So this sounds like, basically it's a great machine for professionals. I often wonder, by the way, how much better it can get. But if you're watching this program online, I bet you didn't know that I'm actually not here. That's right, I am a computer graphic of myself. You don't really see me, you actually see a computer graphic of me. It's like the Star Wars series on Disney Plus. I'm really sleeping in bed right now, and this amazing studio you see behind me is really empty. I don't know, did my guys do a good job with the Apple computer that I bought them? Did they make me look pretty good? Here's my hands, right? Here's my face, right? They even made my bald head pretty good too, right? So it truly looks like the madness is going to end soon. Do you remember all the ways the science said you would die of coronavirus? You guys remember when they closed down public parks because they were afraid children would touch the monkey bars and die of coronavirus? This is how fast we forget when our dictatorship government decides to rule our lives and all you sheep decide to follow these ridiculous rules. Well, as the people came out of their COVID comas, they started to see that the danger wasn't there, but they couldn't handle just ripping the Band-Aid off all at once. They basically had to move slowly and end the stupidity. First it was, okay, you can now play in playgrounds. Oh boy, my kid can play in a playground. They won't die of coronavirus now because the science said so. Then it was okay to gather closer than 6 feet apart. And then it was okay if you were vaccinated, you would no longer have to wear a mask. Well, and now guess what? You could even attend school in person, but you need to wear a mask. Unbelievable. All right, now you can actually, do other things, like almost everything. But the final step is apparently the only place left that you can still get the scary Omicron virus, and that is public transportation. First of all, if you ever rode the subway in New York City, the scary Omicron variant is probably the safest thing that could happen to you. And I'm not just talking about getting stabbed, shot, or maimed. I'm talking about how disgusting the subway cars and stations are. Ew. And then there's the total opposite, of course, which is the airplanes. The cleanest air in the world is on an airplane. The filtration systems on a plane are incredible. However, the Nazi-run government, run by our dictatorship leaders like Gestapo Joe and Dr. Frotsky, currently believe that the entire country is safe from coronavirus except on public transportation and airplanes. If you didn't know, Gestapo Joe's unconstitutional and unnecessary mask mandate was supposed to end in January. And then the Nazi decided he wanted to continue to control you by extending it into March. At the beginning of March, I don't know, can I say this? I don't know, bleep me if I can't say this. The son of a bitch dictator decided to extend it again until April 17th. So this will be extended again. And will it be extended again? I don't know. But that's the question on every person's mind, at least anyone with half a brain. Well, a few interesting things have happened over the past few months. First of all, a letter written to the dictator and signed by every airline CEO begged brain-dead Biden to drop the mandates. They continue to complain to Gestapo Joe and the CDC that their employees should not have to bear the responsibility of the numerous air travelers who are fed up with the ridiculous mandate as well. You have probably seen the videos of the fights the flight attendees are having with flyers. Well, you know the drill, right? And we all know it's time to end the useless mandate. Here is another really interesting thing. 21 states have sued Biden and the CDC and the World Health Organization to have mask mandates banned permanently. According to the New York Post, who printed the article and parts of the lawsuit simply states that faced with a government that displays outright disdain for the limits on its power, especially when it comes to COVID-19 pandemic, plaintiffs seek vacatur of the mask mandate and a permanent injunction against its enforcement. Wow. I will tell you that inside the article, there was a click to the lawsuit, and I read it, and it is eye-opening. I got to tell you, if you get a chance, look it up, do a search on it, look for the lawsuit, the actual lawsuit, and look it up and read it. It is amazing, right? And just like Google it, right? And you'll find it amazing. Right? Listen. Just so you guys know, we the people are fed up with the dictators is basically the gist of it. Okay, it's a pretty long segment, and most of you know that I'm passionate about the fact that our rights were stripped from us. I became a freedom fighter on this issue, and I even pulled down the police barriers around playgrounds to free the playgrounds and let the children play again. Look, I'm going to tell you the mask mandate's going to end shortly, but don't ever forget what they did to us. Let's talk about gas prices. Oh my, gas prices are so high. I need to get a pony to go to work. I see memes like this one and the one we have on display right now. I see them all over the internet. And yes, they're high, and yes, it stinks. But the funny part is there are two types of people out there. The people who blame Biden and the people who blame Russia. Sorry, Russia theorists, you're wrong. You need to remember that not so long ago, 5 weeks ago to be exact, that there was no Russian-Ukraine war, and the gas prices were already jumping higher. Have you seen the stickers with Dumbo's face on it that said, "Hey, I did that," as his finger points to total gas prices at the pump? They've been around for 6 months or more. So how can this administration, how could the administration and how could Democrats really blame the price of oil in Russia when Russia only supplies 7.9% of our oil anyway? And by the way, before they stopped buying Russia, or announced that they were going to stop buying oil from Russia, the prices had already peaked. Did you know that this country has enough oil, our current country has enough oil to be self-sufficient to a point where we can find enough oil for ourselves and enough oil to supply other countries? Do the Democrats think that dinosaurs only roamed in other countries? We have all we need right here, so what's holding up the drilling? Well, let me tell you what it is. Government regulations, green people, and greed. Yeah, now I know why they used to say that Martians were green. If the government would allow us to dig for oil like other countries do, we would be the richest country on the planet instead of Russia and Iran. Trump knew this and had it all under control. You know, come to think of it, he had the whole country under control. It was great until the Democrats appointed a president. Anyway, I can't discuss how they did that because YouTube will shut me down again. But you know what really happened in the past election. If you want to call it that. Getting back to gas prices. It seems we may have hit a top in gas prices and the price per barrel is slowly dropping. The barrel price, by the way, is down below 105, far from its peak of 124 a week ago. So does this mean good news for gas-powered cars? I don't know. Have you seen gas prices drop yet? I haven't. So when will they drop? Well, if you were listening on Friday, I explained to a caller that in about 2 weeks, gas prices will drop below $4, and Biden will take credit for it. Yep, the guy who caused the prices to go from about $2 will take credit for lowering the price of gas to be below $4, and the Democrats will cheer him on. Just wait and see. 2 weeks. Take a look. Hey, I want to thank all you listeners on WWDB Radio, 860 AM in Philadelphia. I want to thank you for your continued support. And, of course, if you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let us know. You can leave comments on Facebook and let us know. My name is Larry Steinhaus. I'm the host of Money Chat Now, and I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. And for you guys who haven't pre-ordered my book, go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhaus, and I promise you, you will like this book. You can pre-order it right now. It's available for pre-order, and you will definitely enjoy it. Of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a profitable day.